for recall? There is problem with the peripheral nerve interface. We fix with upgraded chip. You want it, yes?
Yeah, name's Jensen.
I will tell surgery. You buy something else?
I'm ready.
You need Praxis software? Neuropozyne? Something else? Look at computer. Okay, bye now.
Mr. Jensen, right? I am not mistaken. You are Mr. Jensen, right?
That depends. Who's asking?
I am sorry, Mr. Jensen. I am being impolite. My name is Wing Hui. I am a doctor here.
I can see that. What I really meant to ask is, how do you know who I am?
Yes, of course. Excuse me, for I am a bit nervous. Bell Tower agents were here a while ago, looking for a man who fits your description. When I heard what they were saying of you, it occurred to me that you might be exactly the person I need.
Need for what, exactly? Tread carefully, Doc, because I'm about one step away from losing my patience here.
No, please, you misunderstand. I only wish to talk to you about something. And it is not an easy subject to discuss, as it is a rather sensitive matter. Truly, Mr. Jensen, I would never force anyone to do something against their will. On that, you have my word.
Glad to hear it. So what's this all about then?
I'm afraid I won't be able to go into very much details. Not before I know you are really willing to help. But I need someone to help me to stop a very dangerous augmented soldier, and possibly his squad mates. If everything Bell Tower said of you is true, then you would seem the good fit for this job.
Fine, I'll do it. Just tell me more.
Thank you. Now please, understand that I am to give you sensitive information on multiple parties.
You'd be surprised by the amount of sensitive information that gets tossed my way on a daily basis. I haven't misused any of it. Yet.
Yet? Mr. Jensen, please. Do not make light of this matter. Bell Tower is, well, you know their role in this city. But what you do not know is that they often contract limb specialists to operate in private, on special projects.
What kind of special projects?
What you Americans call black operations. Bell Tower selects some of their best soldiers and make them to be super augmented with experimental, top-secret hardware.
Not to sound too jaded, Doc, but none of that comes as a big surprise. Stuff like that's been going on for years.
Yes. Your government and mine have both been guilty of this practice, I am sure. But Bell Tower is not a government. They are a private corporation. A private army on sale to the highest bidder.
Is this about stopping Bell Tower, then? Because as much as I might hate them right now, I'm only one man.
No. It is not all of Bell Tower I need help with. It is just one of their covert operatives, a man named Michael Zelazny. He was implanted with experimental hardware, and to an extent that is way beyond legal regulations. I am ashamed to say I have operated on him myself, and he has been used in countless secret operations for the Chinese and others.
I get it. He's a badass.
Quite, Mr. Jensen, quite. Rumor has it that Mr. Zelazny and his unit have gone rogue about a month ago. 2 weeks later, a city official was assassinated. I am certain they are involved. And then, a few days ago, Mr. Zelazny contacted me. He needed urgent help with one of his squad mates' augmentations.
I take it you said you would help.
They sent me to the back store of a meat shop near Pandang Road, in the Yutzao district. There, I performed emergency repairs on one of the agent's AUGs, a servo replacement. I believe this back store is their hideout, Mr. Jensen. You must go there and make Mr. Zelazny hear reason.
Yeah, I mean, what are super augmented killing machines known for, if not their unmatched love for dialogue? I'm sure nothing could go wrong.
Do not be too eager to dismiss the possibility of speaking to him, Mr. Jensen. Mr. Zelazny is a soldier, not a maniac. Your own unique situation will no doubt resonate with him. But if things do turn sour and he must be terminated, I think you are a good candidate to get it done. Or at least, survive. So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
You understand that I'm really risking my neck here?
Of course, Mr. Jensen. I'm afraid there is not much I can offer you, but I have a praxis kit I could give you in exchange for your help.
So what exactly am I supposed to do?
You should go to Mr. Zelazny's hideout, the back store of the meat shop in the residential district. I can send the coordinates to your Wayfinder augmentation. Once you get there, try to convince him and his men to turn themselves in. If that fails, I'm afraid you might have to put them out of service permanently, for everyone's safety.
What more can you tell me about this operative, Zelazny?
He is American. His father was a Polish immigrant. His files portray him as highly intelligent, calm, and a fine strategist. He is also a religious man. He joined the army when he was 18. Ever since, he has excelled in almost every aspect of his military service. That is why he was selected by Bell Tower for the Special Operatives Project. At the time, the US Army delegated some of its work in counterinsurgency to the PMC. As for the rest, you will have to learn it from him.
You seem like a decent man, Dr. Wing. Why did you get involved with something like this?
I always act according to my ethics, Mr. Jensen. I love my country. I respect its history, its government, its traditions. Bell Tower is under contract with Hengsha, so I thought I was doing the honorable thing by being loyal. It is not easy to accept that one's beliefs might have been a fraud.
Okay, that's it for now, Doc.
你先听我说完。如果当时我们因为那些故障芯片都死翘翘了的话，你还能像现在这样站着聊天吗？太可怕了！那些芯片出故障的时候，我以为我要死了。
Great. I'm here because I have something they're calling the glitch, whatever the hell that is. And now some criminal fugitive guy shows up.
嘿，别跟我说话！我看了电视了，我知道你是谁。
How were these companies allowed to distribute faulty augmentations to the world? They are playing with people's lives.
我老婆总说我有疑心病，我才不管。这次我知道肯定是有什么地方出问题了，他们也广播了，我知道我没疯。
There is some panic about this chip recall, but I think those people are overreacting. These growing pains are normal with new technology.
你也感觉到了，新闻里他们把这个称为故障，把我吓死了。
Hey, you, I know you. I saw you on the tube. You're deep shit with Bell Tower, and they don't mess around.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk right now. I'm so worried about this recall.
have had the occasional problem with them stealing from limb clinics.
The World Health Organization today issued an unprecedented recall on augmentation technology. For days, reports of temporary
Hey, I know you. You're the one Bell Tower is looking for. I seen your picture.
You got the wrong guy.
What's it worth to you for me to think so? Be a simple thing for me to yell out. Maybe a few credits keep my mouth shut, huh?
How about I find some other way to keep it shut? Permanently.
That won't be necessary. I see now that you're much taller than the man they're looking for.
I thought you might see things that way. Now move it.
They send you?
If you're talking about your former buddies at Bell Tower, the answer is no.
Wait a minute. You're Jensen, right? I heard that some of my former buddies have been looking for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
An evildoer listens to wicked lips, and a liar gives heed to a mischievous tongue.
You've dropped the Merc gig to become a man of the cloth?
Hardly. I just have an interest in theology. And I love quoting the book. Everything in it is so evocative. Now, tell me, are you here to stop me?
That I am.
Then perhaps you should reconsider. There are many of us, and only one of you. At this moment, my men and I have no quarrel with you. So you don't have to die for a war that isn't yours.
I said I was here to stop you, not fight you. A friend of yours sent me to convince you to turn yourself in.
Let me guess. Dr. Wing, right? He's a good man. And I know he's only trying to do what he thinks is right. But he doesn't quite grasp the whole picture here.
Then why don't you enlighten me? Start by explaining why you went rogue.
When an average man decides he no longer shares his employer's views and opts to leave, we say he's handing in his resignation. When men like us do the same, it's called going rogue. You can't quit a job like ours, Jensen. You know that.
Yeah, okay, I can relate. But you still haven't answered my question. And what do you mean when you say you no longer share your employer's view?
Back in the US, when I first got into the Army, I did it because I wanted to serve my country. I believed in its values. I believed in its government. Back then, I believed that by serving my government, I was serving the people it was supposed to protect.
Nice sentiment. But you don't work for the US anymore, you work for Bell Tower.
Times change, Jensen. You know the story. Capitalism's final encroachment on one of the most lucrative industries in the history of mankind. War got privatized. The US military offloaded its special operations to PMCs like Blue Water Global and Bell Tower. I believed that as long as they were working for the government, they were serving the same cause. So when they offered me the chance to work on major operations at twice the pay grade, I made my jump.
Why don't we just skip to when things went sour?
Bell Tower outfitted us with top-notch augmentations. The kind of stuff civilians never hear about. Gave us a massive edge over the enemy. Later, seeing as my unit was one of the most successful ones, they selected us for a special program. Top secret, experimental tech. Told us we would get to work on critical black ops for the US government. But there was a price to pay.
Go on.
We had to be implanted with a neural hub that manipulates memory centers in the brain. Basically controlling what you can and cannot remember.
And you agreed to this?
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. The augmentation was supposed to keep us safe, make sure we'd never remember details if we fell behind enemy lines. That was the main function. The second one, the one they didn't tell us about, was to lower our inhibitions. Make us more receptive to orders we'd likely disobey. Bell Tower turned us into the perfect mercs.
If you were so perfect, and the hub made you so perfect, how did it fail? How come they didn't outfit the whole agency?
I told you the tech was experimental. After a couple of ops, I started experiencing memory shifts, remembering bits and fragments of past operations. Slowly, I realized some of these operations couldn't logically have been orchestrated by the government. I was asked to do highly questionable things, even by professional standards.
Aren't we all?
Not like this, Jensen. Our services have been sold to corrupt officials in the American and Chinese governments. A combination of lies and use of the neural aug made sure we complied. We were working for a shadow government. Individuals corrupted by a quest for personal power.
So how'd you get out of it?
I confronted the project director. He quoted Apocalypse Now. You have to have men who are moral, and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling. I forced him to disconnect the hub, for me and my squad mates here. And then I killed him. I went through his files and contacts. I know who these corrupt men are now. They've turned us into killing machines, and now they'll get to experience their experiment firsthand.
Listen, I have no doubt these men deserve to die. But you can't simply pass judgment on people. Nothing gives you that right. You have to turn yourself in. Play this by the book.
I'm afraid that's impossible. These men I killed, and these men I'm going to kill, they have names, families. Their deaths shouldn't be erased from my memory by some electronic software. They should haunt me, taunt me, until I finally meet our Lord and pay for my sins. But the men behind this, They deserve to die. And I think there's poetry in the fact that they engineered their own demise.
Then it looks like you leave me no choice. Let's get this over with.
Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed.
Go, 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 go!
This is not the place for you. Get out, Lao Wei.
Back away, sir. This is none of your business.
You shouldn't be here. Get moving. You shouldn't be here. Get moving.
Augmentation giant Talion Medical is scrambling to produce enough food and water to meet the expected demand.
快点！
That's why
So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
I found him.
Really, Mr. Jensen? You have been able to make him understand reason? Will he turn himself in?
Unfortunately, no. I had to take him and his teammates down.
It is a sad conclusion, but one that does not come as a surprise. I still believe you did a good thing, Mr. Jensen. Here is the Praxis kit as promised. I don't know how to thank you enough. You have helped save many lives. Who knows how many people he would have killed? Who knows how many people he would have killed?